What's up, everybody? I'm Metal Nick.
I'm Jeff Grindstoffer.
And welcome to episode number 26 of Vinyl Bang, where today's topic is grind. It's in my buddy's name over here.
It's right. It's right here. I don't know if
we say grind, but we're open to stuff like Grindcore, Gore Grind, Pornogrind. There's tons of little subgenres of grind, but we're going to try to hit most of them today, right?
we're going to cover quite a bit. Yeah. I've got a polka grind band that I'm going to polka.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a subgenre, but it should be. It should absolutely be I'm sure there's somebody out there that has like accordions and shit incorporated in their grind.
Yeah, I just saw recently somebody with a flute on stage, like a hardcore band, and in between breakdowns, the dude was hitting the flute. So anything is possible. It is 2024. So
yeah, people are very creative.
Jeff, you want to start this one off?
Yeah, I'm going to start off. First off, a couple of changes in the Grindstoffer household. I no longer have my chair here that I always have all my records sitting on. I'm kind of figuring out my new setup about how I'm going to pick records and how I'm going to set them down and how everything's. So it might be a little bit of a. Might have to bear with me for a little while, for a couple episodes until I get this absolutely figured out. But I'm gonna muddle through it and do as best I can. So, and also for this episode, I am not organized. I am not ready. I was not prepared. It's a lack of preparation on my part, so I apologize. But this might be another episode where you don't learn a whole lot from whenever I'm on camera. But we'll see what happens. So, starting off the grind episode, I think I should start off with a pretty heavy hitter in the grind genre. Is we're going to start with Discordance Axis. This is the Johu album. I think I'm gonna mispronounce it. I know I probably already have, but the Johu. I'm probably gonna hear shit about this from Dave Woody the next time I see him. But yeah, this is actually a few different. This is the Johu album, the Plutocracy split, a split with Melt Banana, and a live set from Tokyo in 1997. This is a double vinyl release. It is, as listed on the front. I really need to get a new camera. A gray vinyl, so that's fun.
Is that the one with the goldfish on the cover?
No.
I have it's like in a DVD box.
Oh yeah, that's Discordance Axis in the DVD box.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Inalienable Dreamless. Sorry, not Discordance Axis. The Inalienable Dreamless. That is this album in a DVD case. That's the next album. But yeah, this Johu split thing. I forgot where I picked this up at, but it was whenever I was starting to collect records. It's one of the first, I don't know, I'd say 50 or 100 vinyl I ever bought. And yeah, happy to have it. Happy to have some Discordance Axis street cred in my collection. Up next, as already featured, is going to be the Inalienable Dreamless. This was issued. This was a reissue, I believe they did in 22 or 23. Mm-hmm. Issued the Inalienable Dreamless. This has been pressed 2 or 3 times throughout the years. This pressing was released in 2010. It was around the time that I started my job that I'm at now, and I remember buying it on one of my first night shifts. But after I got my first paycheck, it was one of the first records I bought. And this is pressed on a marble blue, and I believe that this is just a standard black. I believe. But I've got 2 different pressings of the 2010 release. And Discordance Axis, man, they're really good. They are. That was. I don't want to say it was Dave Witty's first grind band, but it was like one of his first projects. Awesome project, awesome grind band. dig Discordance Axis for sure.
Don't forget. Well, yeah, Human Remains was something. I don't know if it was grind. It was like death metal-y, but
yeah, it was more death metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Whitty, man, he was all over the place for a while. It was like you couldn't hear an album that didn't have Dave Whitty on it because he's just one of those guys. So
he was in high demand.
He was. And shout out to Dave Whitty, good friend of ours.
Absolutely, love that guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Can't get enough of Dave Whitty.
No,
one of the greatest drummers ever.
Agreed. Very influential. A lot of people cite him as an influence, and and just a great guy all around. Great guy.
Really great guy. Yeah, one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Agreed.
All righty, moving on. So my first one that I'm going to talk about is a band. I don't know where this band is from. I don't know much about them. I was given this record by a friend many years ago. This came out in 2013 on Relapse Records. This is a band called Blockheads. The World is Dead. Look at that cover, man. That is some grim shit there.
It is.
This is a Relapse Clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was given gifted a bunch of free records, and this was one of them. And I'd never heard this before, and I put it on. I spun it, and I was like, wow. De-individualized, already slaves, born amongst bastards. Final rise, bastards, awaken. This world is dead. Hidden terrors, all these dreams. Media warfare be a thorn to power. Human oil poisoned yields to the dogs. Buenos Aires SC. Crisis is killing the weak. Famine. Sell your flesh. Look down. Take your pills. Digging graves. Pro-lifers. Following the bombs. Doctrine of assured mutual destruction. And Trail of the Dead. This is quite a grind album. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. They put out quite a bunch of stuff. Like I said, I'm not sure where they're from, but pretty neat stuff. I was pretty intrigued by the album art and just instantly look at that casket hanging out there in the bottom of that cliff.
Mm-hmm.
That's some shitty stuff there, but
yeah,
Blockheads. If you haven't heard this album, give it a listen. It's pretty good. It was something that Relapse put out that I'd never heard of before. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in Blockheads, but I do remember them coming out. I discovered them around the same time that I discovered Mumakil. That was also another Relapse band. I want to say Antigama. I don't know if Relapse ever did anything from Antigama, but yeah, I remember like whenever I hear one of those bands, it's like I associate them all together, like just because I discovered them around the same time, same genre and all that. But yeah, if you ever want to let that go, the Blockheads album, I'll take it because I'd like to check that out. I don't think I own anything by Blockheads.
I like it a lot. It's pretty good. We'll see if I ever get bored of it. I like it. It's a good record. It was a gift, so I feel bad giving away a gift.
No, sure, absolutely, understandable.
Anywho,
all right. So moving on, I'm gonna go with another kind of go a little underground on this one. This band is basically an older band that just basically I think they just changed bass players. This band used to be Kill the Client. The three of the members were in Kill the Client, and now they are Triage. Triage is a band that consists of Champ Morgan of Kill the Client and Brian Fajardo of God knows how many bands. That guy's like another one of those Dave Whitty guys who just all over the place. This is their first and only album so far. This was released in 2019 or 20. I think I got this during the pandemic. So I think it was 2020 whenever this album came out. But what a ripper, man. I got to see these guys a couple months back, and I drove to Oklahoma to see Triage perform, and it was well worth the 5-hour drive. Not only did I get to hang out with Champ, my good friend Champ Morgan, for a few hours before the show. We got to catch up, and I wanted to take him to a record store, but there wasn't enough time. But Champ is also an avid collector of vinyl, and we are in the works to try to get him on the show. We're going to arrange that hopefully relatively soon. Hopefully, anyway. Triage is an absolute blasting record. It just is absolutely great. These guys have probably flown under the radar for the most part. Still relatively new, so if you get a chance to find this album, they only did one press. They only did one pressing as well. It's a red translucent, which is of course going to look pink on my end because of the Missouri sun. It does, no, I look kind of red.
Yeah, right.
Right. Right.
I know you're trying to fool Jeff.
It's like the ongoing gag on vinyl band that all of my red albums look pink. But yeah, this is a fun album. I want to say it clocks in around 20 minutes, maybe throughout the entire thing.
How do you spell that? How does it spell there?
Triage, and it's fairly legible as far as grind and death. Well, I guess most grind bands don't really have illegible logos like death metal bands do. And the artwork, I want to say this is brought. I want to say without doing any investigation, just because it looks like something Arif would do. So. Awesome album. Awesome project. Awesome guys. Shout out to Champ and Brian Fajardo. And
shout out to Champ. I know Champ.
Good guy.
Yeah, he's great.
We're going to have to call this the good guy episode because we're talking people up.
Yeah. Do we talk about Leon at all in this episode? He's a great guy too.
Shout out to Leon Del Muerte.
I'm just thinking about all of our friends out there that are musicians who are awesome. I always think about Leon whenever I think about people like that. So,
yeah, agreed.
All right. Cool. All righty. So, moving on. My next artist I'm going to talk about here is a band I just saw a couple weeks ago at Maryland Death Fest, and that would be Iron Lung. Ooh, there we are. This album is called Life, Iron Lung, Death. This album came out in 2004. This is a translucent gold, yellow, whatever you want to call that. Those of you who don't know, Iron Lung is a two-piece band from Seattle, and they crush it. For two members, it's a drummer and a guitarist, and they both also do vocals. But for a duo like that, they sound incredible. Next album is here we are. Sexless No Sex, by Iron Lung. Look at that artwork, man. That shit's fucking. I can't remember the name of the gentleman who does this, but this is some good stuff. This album is incredible. This came out on Prank Records, I guess. I wish that they would have pressed it themselves, but which pressing do I have? Ooh, it is clear. Ooh. I can't say enough great things about Iron Lung. They're just incredible live band. That's the way to go. They also have this next one I'm gonna talk about. They put out a version that has two records. So if you spin them both at the same time, there'll be like noise going over it. But I do not have that version, and that would be the White Glove Test. Again, this artwork, pretty wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's badass.
Yeah, they're just they know how to make them. Hey, clear red vinyl. This is my favorite one by them by far. Seen them play quite a bit of this stuff live. They assured us there should be a new album out, hopefully this year. They tease it at Death Fest, but I love this band a lot. They're, I guess, more on the power violence or hardcore side of things, depending on how you look at it. You know, I don't want to be one of those people that fucks up a band's genre, but yeah, I like this band a lot. I've traveled to see them a few times, and one time I saw them. I always tell them when I see them this. I saw them with Infest, who you should know, they're a great live band.
Oh yeah.
I saw them at the church in Philly with Iron Lung. Iron Lung stole the fucking show that night. I mean, it was hands down they were the band that to see, and we got there a little late, but that band Wound Man opened, and the singer of that band is the guy that does that band Internal that I've talked about on this show quite a bit. But
right.
Iron Lung, I love these guys. Two great dudes, awesome live band. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. I mean, that cover I've seen that cover, but I guess I never took the initiative to listen to the music that went along with it.
I think you'd appreciate it. It's pretty straightforward grind, power violence, hardcore, whatever you want to call it. But
go ahead and make a note of this now.
Yeah.
Correct that.
They've repressed some of their stuff a couple times. They run their own record label, so they put stuff out. I don't know where I have it, but when they sent me that Extortion 7 inches, the 7 inches, they sent me like a bent copy of the cover to like hold it in place. But I don't know where that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Cool. Iron Lung. Yeah, I'm gonna check them out. I was looking on their Spotify, and it looks like one of their albums looks like a throwback to Man is the Bastard almost.
Maybe. Okay, yeah. I saw Bastard Noise open for them in Richmond once.
All right.
So, moving on, Jeff, what do you got next?
Moving on, I don't know how I did this, but I don't know if I'm a band short. No, I've got them all. All right. So, my next band in the Grind episode is not really so much underground. A lot of people are familiar with this band whenever they play festivals, even after not putting out an album in 14 years. Whenever they play shows or festivals or whatever, they are usually high up in the lineup. They are still very highly sought after. I am, of course, talking about Cephalic Carnage.
I was hoping so because you kept using the word high.
High. See what I did there? I wasn't even trying to, and they are very, very high
all
with
the
the
time.
weed all the time. Their official genre, I believe, is Rocky Mountain Hydro Grind.
Yes.
Very, very pro marijuana band. Usually whenever you see, not usually whenever you see him, every time you see him, Leonard Lenzig is talking about weed and the pros and no cons. I don't think I've ever heard him say anything bad about weed. Anyway, yeah, this band, I love this band so much. I love Cephalic Carnage. I'm going to very quickly, I guess, kind of rapid fire go through their albums. This is, of course, their first EP, Conforming to Abnormality. This was a re-release that they did in 2011 or 12. I don't remember exactly the year that this came out. Again, no research done for this episode, just kind of ripping through it and this and that, just kind of muddle through it. This is Exploiting Dysfunction, their first official full-length released on Relapse Records in 2000 something. I know we've covered this before. We've discussed this before in another episode. I don't remember exactly when this came out.
1998.
98. The year I graduated high school. That's fun. Love this band. Love this album. Yeah, I've never heard the vinyl because it's picture disc, and I am not a fan of playing picture disc on the turntable. But hopefully, one of these days, maybe I'll get a copy on vinyl that I can listen to, maybe a bootleg or something. I don't know. Lucid Interval, the next step from Symbolic Carnage. I have several copies of this. One of them is in a frame hanging up on my wall. I don't remember exactly what copy it is. I've got clear and red and black and all kinds of different variants of Lucid Interval. Up next, Anomalies. I don't want to say Anomalies is my favorite Symbolic Carnage because that changes like every day. My favorite Symbolic Carnage album varies from day to day. This one has several special guests. Travis Ryan, for instance, is on Scientific Remote Viewing, and Barney Greenwood is on. I forget what song he's on. Fail.
The Will of the Way.
Horribly. It might be the Will of the Way, actually. That makes sense. Maybe.
Pretty sure that's him.
I'll hear about it in the comments one way or the other about how much of a poser I am and not knowing what song Barney was on. And I have more copies. One of them's right up there on display. Another one's in another frame, and the clear copy in the back. And I'm not going through all the different copies I have. Xenosapien. I have. Let's go ahead and pull this one out and see what this one is. It's either yellow or red. And thank God it's not red, so I don't have to go through the pink thing again. But yeah, this is a yellow. I believe these were limited to 100. I'm pretty sure there was another pressing that besides clear that was just limited to 100 from Relapse Records. This album is the only one that I do not have a test press for, and I might have gone over this in the test press episode. And also Exploiting Dysfunction. If anybody out there has a test pressing of Xenosapien or Exploiting Dysfunction that they want to get rid of, let me know. Last but not least, from Symbolic Carnage, released in 2010, and I can remember this distinctly because it's been 14 years since this album has come out. Misled by Certainty. Again, just such a good record. Travis Ryan also makes another appearance on this album. He is on the song When I Arrive, which is it's a very, like, the vocals are very melodic in that song. A lot more than previous Symbolic Carnage material, and it's great. I mean, they pulled it off very well as far as the actual singing. Great album. Great fucking album. Pure Horses, Raped by an Orb, PGAD, which stands for Persistent Genital Arousal Disorder. Love PGAD. It's so much fun. Ohrworm, Power and Force, Rapangia. Great album. I'm ready for new Symbolic Carnage, as I'm sure a lot of our viewers and fans of the band are also ready for new Symbolic Carnage, because that's what we need. If anything will straighten this world out, it is a new Symbolic Carnage album.
And for the record, I've listened to a lot of Cypress Hill with that band.
I think I have too. I mean, not a lot, but
First time I met those dudes, it's like instantly. But I can't say enough good things about all of them, past and present. Zach, Nick, Len, Steve, John, whoever's playing drums for them, Danny, and
Patrice.
Yeah, like all have been very nice to me, and I love Symbolic Carnage so much, man. What a awesome band. Like,
yeah.
I really judged a book by its cover many years ago, and then seeing them live really changed it for me. I saw them with A Life Once Lost back in 2006, and like Symbolic stole that show too. I filmed their set and was just like, man, like what? I was thoroughly entertained that night. Yeah. It was total chaos when they by the time they got to Black Metal Sabbath, I was just like, what the fuck is happening? But they just, everything was done so well, and they were very tight that night. So
I'm the first time I saw them, I'd never heard of them. I never heard of Symbolic Carnage. I went initially to the show to see Hatebreed, back in 2001, and I went, like I said, initially to see Hatebreed, and Hate Eternal played, and a couple other bands. But whenever Cephalic came on, I was just, wow, what is this? Like, it opened up a whole new chapter of my life, So I love that band, and again, the guys are great. Steve and I, we keep in touch pretty regularly. But they're all great. Brian Hopp, Nick Shinzlios, yeah, great group of guys, great band.
Absolutely. And before I move on to the next one, I just want to say to our friends in Cephalic Carnage, go Raiders! All right, moving on.
Shout out Steve Goldberg.
He'll know. All right, so the next one I'm going to talk about is again another band that I just saw a couple of weeks ago, and had a little shit conversation with their singer because we have a conversation that we had many years ago on the internet. Is Extortion from Perth, Australia. This is their first album, Degenerate. This came out in 2006 on Deep Six Records. This is a purple marbled vinyl. Yeah. Great album, great band, awesome artwork, very straight to the point. The next album I got by them is my favorite one. Jeff, you talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Is Sick. This is an EP. They put this one out in 2007. It's a full length though, or it's a 12-inch. I'm saying not full length. It's an EP apparently. This is the first pressing on translucent green.
Very nice.
Pills there, and poor little kid throwing up everywhere. I feel like I've been there. That's why this album relates to me because of that, this artwork and these song titles. Like Wake Up Fucked. I love that song title. There's nothing more descriptive than you know what's going on there. Not this one. 2012, they did a split with a German hardcore band. They're from Berlin. They're called Cold World. This was the actual artwork, but this was like a limited edition, gig edition from Cold World. They put out on July 11, 2012. Number 4450. This is white vinyl. It's got a little smudge there from the boomers in the factory. Somebody can clean this well. This was the last thing Extortion had put out for a very long time. And then in 2022, they put out a 7-inch called Seething. RSR from Germany put out a 12-inch of it. This is a standard black, but look at that screen printing on the back.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's odd. What are those? Cockroaches? No.
Yeah.
Cockroaches.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
This is Rohan Harrison, the singer. This is his artwork. So many years ago, when I saw them at Death Fest, and I just was so intrigued that I went and bought all their stuff. And as I'm buying and collecting all their records, I'm noticing that the artwork's all done by the same person, which is their singer. And he did that 7-inch split with Extortion and Agents of Abhorrence. So I went and got that tattooed.
Mm-hmm.
When I got it freshly tattooed, I sent it to him. He was very nice about it. And then I just, I didn't keep in touch with this guy. I don't think he ever uses his Facebook, but I ran into him at Death Fest and I showed it to him again. He told me he still has it on his desktop at home. So I was like, dude, that's incredible. But
very cool.
I like that band a lot. It wasn't just like their music was that great that I had to get a tattoo. His artwork is really very unique, very different. That particular one, it's always violent, but that particular one I thought was just, I loved it. It just, showed a whole story there. Thought I'd make a great tattoo, but they're a cool band. They're just they put out a lot of 7 inches and whatnot, but I figured I'd show you all the 12 inches, some of the 12 inches I have. I have so much more, but these are like of the general popularity that I have with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to know that you have a bunch of stuff that you didn't show, because one of these bands, it was like whenever I was digging out their collection, good. I'm glad to know we're not
Don't have to show it all off. Yeah.
covering the entire thing. Well, that's very good. I wish I'd known that for Symbolic, but
Let me show
whatever.
you. Well, no, I just didn't. I didn't bring out every pressing, and like some of them, there's like the same record, just like a different version of it with like a different cover or whatever. So
Right.
I'm just
Covering the basics.
yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely. Well, that's very good.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and get this band out of the way. I am going to cover up next. Of course, this is all out of order, because why would it be in order? That would make sense. No, you know what? We'll do something else right now. So my next band, I'm going to have to edit so much shit out of this episode. The next band I'm going to cover is Gridlink. Gridlink is a band out of, I don't even want to say it incorrectly. I don't even know where they're from. God. Okay, American Grindcore band from Hoboken, New Jersey. Gridlink has released 3 albums over the years. Four albums. One of them they never released on vinyl, which is why I don't have a copy on vinyl. But let's go ahead and see which copy of this, or which pressing this is, of which I have multiples, and this is just a standard black. So good enough for me. That'll work. Gridlink, this album is called Longhena. Longhena, and my ability to mispronounce things, I'm sure, is really coming into play with this album as well. I've got a few pressings of this. I'm not going to go through. Up next from Gridlink is a combination of 2 different albums. As I mentioned before, they have an album that they never released on vinyl, which is called Amber Gray. And then their next album, Orphan, they took the 2 albums and combined them together and released both of them on vinyl at the same time, which is, good marketing, I guess. Helps keep people whose wives are not big fans of their husband collecting every album on vinyl. Helps keep them happy. So thank you to Gridlink for that, for not releasing 15 different copies of Amber Gray on vinyl. The first half of this is Orphan, the first, which is the newer of the 2 albums. Amber Gray came out in 2008 and 11, or Orphan came out in 2011. So the first, I don't even know how many tracks are on this thing. The first 12 tracks are from Orphan, and the final 11 tracks are off the album Amber Gray. I don't know if this is colored or not. Let's find out what pressing this is. Ooh, this is of course going to look painted. That looks kind of red, right? Come on, man. Help me out here. Like, I need to find, like,
you keep saying it yourself. You need a new camera, so.
Well, I do need a new camera, but maybe it's the paint in the room. Maybe whenever we paint the room a new color, that it's actually going to help the red actually look red.
Well, I'll tell you this: your beard looks red.
Aww, thanks. At least you didn't say it looks gray.
Well, it doesn't look pink.
Nick Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Martin. Yeah. Again, from Gridlink, this is the second and third albums all in one convenient package, and it's just the one disc. Like, you got Amber Gray on one side and Orphan on the other, so really convenient for those of you who just want to spin, two Gridlink albums in one setting. And up next, the final album from them, which came out last year, Coronet Juniper from Gridlink. This band also has Brian Fajardo on drums, which I mentioned earlier in Triage. again, he's done a lot of stuff throughout the years, been in a lot of different bands. But yeah, the newest album from Gridlink, Coronet Juniper. They did 4 or 5 different pressings of this. I think I only got the one. But great album, great band. I've never seen these guys. Never seen Gridlink live, and I would love to one of these days. But I think they're, of course, now that I say that, I remember they were done. They were done for a long time. Like after they released Orphan, it was a 12-year gap because they weren't supposed to do anything anymore. And then they got back together and released the newest album. And I believe they did a handful of shows at St. Vitus late last year. I think it was around the time of the release of the album. And once they did that, they were like, all right, no more. We're done. So kind of a bummer. I'd love to see those guys live, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. You win some, you lose some. You don't get to see some bands live.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. Anyway.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Next band I'm going to talk about is a band from Down Under again. This is a band. So I guess the drummer plays drums in Agents of Aberrance. That's one thing I discovered recently. I don't know if these guys are from any other bands. They're called Internal Rot. This is Grieving Birth. I think this is their second full length. I don't know. They got a lot of stuff. This one came out in 2020 on 625 Thrash, and Iron Lung Records put this out as well.
Nice.
Piss Yellow, whatever you want to call it. I have another record of theirs. I awkwardly put this back in its sleeve. Wasting everybody's time. I think this is their first one. This came out in 2014. Mental Hygiene is what it's called. I think they like the theme of like women on their cover. Women in distress. I don't know.
Horror movies, I want to say.
Sure. I didn't know where any of these come from, but oh shit. This is Smoky Clear. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's like some streaks in it if you can see. But yeah. I think this was also on 625 Thrash, which I believe might be an Australian label. I'm not sure. And Iron Lung put this out. Kudos to Iron Lung. Iron Lung Records.
Nice.
Shout out to Jensen and John. But yeah, this is a fun grind band that I discovered a couple years ago. They are from Australia. Apparently they played the States before. I felt stupid about not seeing them, but I'm late to the game. Come back to America, please. It's my plea to these guys. I got a picture with the drummer when Agents of Aberrance played Death Fest, and I showed him my tattoo. We took a picture. He said he was going to show it to Rohan, and I was like, he's seen it, but I'd never met the guy. I don't know how they all are about their art getting tattooed, but he was cool with it. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. I'm sure it's flattering for him, that somebody permanently, inked their.
No, if I could have more of their merch with that artwork and stuff like that, I would buy that too. But sometimes you just got to carve shit into your body for the rest of your life to show your support.
Yeah. Sometimes you do it and want to get it covered up and never talk about it again. And every time somebody brings up your fucking Static X tattoo, you don't want to talk about it. And I just. Well, that's how that goes. Real quick, not to get off topic or anything, but while we're both on camera, I want to go ahead and bring up the fact that Nick and I are both wearing headphones. This was an accident. This was a couple weeks back whenever I was doing something. I couldn't hear Nick, and I decided I was going to get a set of headphones and try it out, and I think it worked out very well. Like this change in the format, I think it is providing better results for Vinyl Bank.
Hopefully. Let us know in the comments if we sound better.
Yeah, if we sound better, or if we look goofy, or if we have if we need new headphones or whatever, just because it's weird looking at both of us like we're both wearing headphones. I was like, it's a new day, it's a new vinyl bang.
Should have thought about this. Well, you had yours on during the Travis episode. I didn't. So I think James Watson was the first one that I saw wearing headphones. And maybe Ross did too.
I can't remember if Ross did or not.
No,
can't remember. But anyway, yeah. From now on, headphones is the way to go.
We're trying to be professional here.
Trying to be professional. Trying to make every episode better for you, our fans.
All right.
Moving on is another a favorite band of mine. Got to see them several times throughout the years. Wormrot. Go ahead and start off at the beginning with Abuse. I got this copy signed when I first saw them in 2010. I want to say it's been a long time since I first saw this. Since I first saw Wormrot, their debut album Abuse has been released 4 or 5 times on vinyl, and I've got 2 or 3 of them, but we decided we're not doing every pressing, which is awesome. Up next from Wormrot is the Dirge album, and I'm going to go with the black and white pressing, which luckily enough, it has the pressing listed on the cover. So let's go ahead and break this one out and see what this looks like. Dirge, as I said, is the second album from Wormrot. It's a black with white splatter, not a black and white half and half as I presumed, but still an awesome pressing. Again, I think they did 4 or 5 pressings of this. Great album, great follow-up album from Wormrot. They did remember whenever Scion was doing those promotional albums and they would give out like 5-song samplers or whatever from bands, like
definitely.
Gore Grind did one, Melvins did one, Wormrot did one called Noise. I love that EP. I love that EP so much, and I want to say I don't know if I have that on vinyl or not. I know I've got the CD. Let me see. Let me check my good old Discogs. I do. I own a 10-inch vinyl, and I'm not going to go dig it out because
I was going to say it's a 10-inch.
Yeah. Majority of the Scion releases were 10 inches. I believe I've got. I know I've got the Gore Grind and whatever, but yeah, that was a fun little time in our lives. Whenever a car company was releasing 10-inch records from cool bands. Maybe Honda should do some. Maybe Honda Civic should do. Maybe Honda should do some. We can get some free Honda Civics. Get some 10-inch records, or at least maybe get some tires. I mean, I'd be happy with tires, or paint or whatever. But yeah, I'm getting off on a tangent. I've still got 2 more records from Wormrot.
Oh shit!
Sorry. Yep. No, you're good. You're good. I like seeing you in the middle of me talking. It helps calm me down. Like, oh, there's Nick. Okay, he's still.
You caught me in the middle of chewing something, so I had to mute myself, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's done."
No, not done. Not done. Just wanted to interrupt your lunch. Disrupt the balance a little bit. Up next, the third album from Wormrot. This is Voices. This is like whenever this one came out, they were taking a little bit of a different approach, not straight grind, and threw in the vocals are a little different. Arif tried some different things with the vocals, I believe, and it took a couple of listens for me to really get into this album. But now I love it. I love the different approach to it, the different perspective of it, and yeah, it's Wormrot, so you really can't go wrong. Love this band. Love everything they've done. And up next, the final album from Wormrot with the current lineup with Arif still on vocals. Arif has left the band. For those of you, spoiler alert, Arif Rod is no longer the vocalist for Wormrot. For those of you who don't know that, sorry, I'm going to ruin it for you. Hiss, the latest album from Wormrot. again, the vocals, Arif did some took a different approach to the vocals. That worked out well. This is just a standard black because generally, like if I have the resources to do so, I like to just listen to the black pressings to preserve the colored limited pressings or whatever. I would rather spin a black copy than put the stylus in the grooves of a colored pressing that's rare or whatever. But yeah, Hiss, the latest album from Wormrot, is great. I have not seen them since they took on a new vocalist. I don't know if the new guy is just a touring guy or if he's going to be in the band from now on or what, but I have no frame of reference on that because I haven't seen him. So I don't know how the new guy holds up, but I'm definitely intrigued. I definitely want to see how the new guy holds up. So.
Cool.
We saw them at Death Festivals a couple of years ago, last year.
Last time I saw them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah, very nice guys. Damn, I didn't realize they put out so many records.
Four the sign-on thing. And there's stuff before that. They had a couple of EPs or demos or whatever before Abuse, but Yep.
Nice.
Great band.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. So next band I'm going to talk about is a French band called Grindcore. Very nice coated cover there, so it's a little reflecty. They are a Pornogrind band, actually. French Pornogrind band. This album came out in 2020. They got a ton of albums. This is Regard If Hummus Sucre, which translates to Watchmen Suck. Like I said, they are a Pornogrind band. This came out on Seasons of Mist, believe it or not. This is a gold vinyl, strictly numbered to 200, strictly 200 copies worldwide. I saw these guys at Maryland Death Fest 3. They were very interesting. I had no idea they were still a band after all these years. I forgot about Pornogrind, really. I have a couple. There was a band that I saw at Death Fest years ago called Romper Prop. That was I think they're from Sweden, maybe, or Norway, but they were fucking incredible, and they were a Pornogrind band. There was another one called Tukarn, I think. But yeah. Our buddy James, he hit me up and said, "Hey, do you know this band is still a band?" And I did not. And I went and pre-ordered this record because everything sounded pretty cool, and they've got those like low zombie like distorted vocals, so it sounds fucking incredible.
Yeah,
but yeah, Grindcore, how's it? I say it.
I think. Again, my ability to mispronounce shit's probably going to come into play here, but I always pronounce it Grindcore.
James told me it means big tits.
It's something like that.
Or huge tits. So another fun grind album there that I own in my collection. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to go too generic. I mean, like, as you can see, I got like some of my essentials back here in the background, but like let's talk about some bands that people probably may or may not know of.
Right.
I think my last one people should know about, but if you don't, shame on you, but you're up. So who do you have last?
As far as the underground bands, like there was a few I probably could have gone like Antigama or Mimikiller or whatever, but and those Symbolic Carnage some love. Good topic of conversation, Symbolic Carnage. So up last, my final band for this episode, Rotten Sound. God damn it, I love this band. They are the whenever I think of grind, Rotten Sound immediately just comes into my mind, just because they are, like, again, some of the quintessential grind musicians. Several albums from them. I've got these need to be in sleeves, but Cursed is the second album that I have to feature here. and I have nowhere near anywhere every album in their collection. Our good friend Jason Netherton is on this album.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Jason.
Jason Netherton. Jason Netherton. Great album again from Rotten Sound. I don't think they've really done a bad one. Species at War, which is a 6-song EP released by Relapse Records, and this was one of the years that you and I had early access to get into Maryland Death Fest because of our media passes, and we got in and got to buy records before the gates opened. And this is one of the albums I picked up. It was a Maryland Death Fest limited to 100 copies. Gruesome Gray. You remember that?
Yeah.
Whenever we had early access to vinyl that year, that was fun.
I have that on clear somewhere.
I think I do too. I could be wrong. These are out of order. I know these are out of order. This is their Napalm EP, where they covered 6 songs by Napalm Death. They did Mind Kill, Dead Remains, Brainload, The Kill, Missing Link, and Suffer the Children. So did some Napalm Death covers, and I believe there's a couple of their own songs. I really did not prepare for this episode. My bad. Killer artwork, very reminiscent of the Scum artwork from Napalm Death. Up next, we have Abused to Suffer, which was released in... I don't even know when it was released. Released on Season of Mist Records in 2016. 2016 release on Season of Mist. And finally, from Rotten Sound is another is Suffer to Abuse. Not Abuse to Suffer, Suffer to Abuse. I bought this the last time we were at Death Fest together. Last year, I believe I bought it. From
2021.
2022. 2022. A blue, translucent blue, and then an etching on the back. Almost looks like kind of like an Ouroboros type thing. Pretty killer etching here. Rotten Sound. I got to catch them a couple times throughout the years. They're amazing live. Great band. The last time I saw them, Brian Fajardo was playing drums for Rotten Sound because their drummer couldn't get into the stage, injured himself somewhere or another. So they had Brian fill in because why not? If you're in a grind band and if you need a last minute fill in, Brian Fajardo is the guy to get because the man is just phenomenal. So yeah,
Rotten Sound, awesome band. I love that album Exit. That's a really cool record.
It is.
I can't find that on vinyl for cheap anywhere.
I don't think I've ever seen that album. I wish I had it though.
I think Cha has it. My next one that I got here is my final band that I'm going to talk about here is a Swedish Gore Grind band that I always would see their CDs whenever I was working at Tower Records back in the day, but I absolutely 100% when I started going to shows, I saw them at Maryland Death Fest 3. That was the first time I saw them, and I became like an instant fan. But it is Regurgitate, Carnivorous Erection. Look at that artwork. Jesus Christ.
Love that artwork.
That's some crazy stuff. Yeah. I was debating on showing this on here, but I think you told me it's I mean, I looked it up on YouTube. It's already there. This is a couple of them on the back. I wish I had their album before this. It's called Deviant. That's absolutely a fucking masterpiece. The next one that I have by them is Sickening Bliss. This one came out in 2007. Wow, that long ago. No, wait. 2006. Still, that's fucking long. This is pretty cool. The sleeve that it comes in. that the record comes in. But it's a relapse clear here, and there's pictures of all of them right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this band a lot. I've seen them live twice. I got a pretty funny picture of me and the singer from Maryland Death Fest back in, I think, 2007. They played. That was the last time they played. But their artwork has always been so fucking.
Yeah, it's definitely killer artwork.
Yeah, this is a great Gore Grind band. That's the category I'm going with this final one of mine, and they're incredible. I like this shit a lot. I wish they would reunite. I'm kind of pushing Evan and Ryan to try to get them at Death Fest next year, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Maybe when Miasmatic Necrosis does their tour of Europe, they for some reason decide that they see those guys and be like, we want to do this again, you know?
Right.
But yeah. Regurgitate, quite a band to finish off our grind episode. If you haven't checked them out, I would check them out. They're awesome. I know you have some of their stuff, right?
Yeah, I've got that clear pressing. That's sticking on the list, but and I guess it's been a while since I pulled out the jacket. Like I didn't realize that was, you know,
how cool is that?
Fucking awesome, really.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Very artistic and clever.
Yeah. Kudos to Relapse. That's a Relapse Records release. So,
yep.
Jeff, do you have any new shit you want to talk about today?
New stuff. Yeah, I got a couple of new records. Let's start off with the ones that I only have one copy of. This is an album that over the years I've been saying needed to be released on vinyl, and the band finally took it upon themselves to release a 20th of the 20th anniversary. Byzantine released The Fundamental Component on vinyl, and I am so happy to have a copy of this on vinyl. I've loved this album since the day it was released. They released this on an amber gray gold pressing.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
Very cool copy. And they only released the one pressing, which, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if they did 30. I would have bought 30 copies of this on vinyl just because I am such a fan of this album.
Shout out to OJ.
Yes, shout out to OJ.
And since we're on the subject, let's shout out Jamie and Al Dog from the Lamb Board, because they were big supporters, big backers and followers of that band, and I think they got a lot of people to hop on and become fans of them because of that, their support of Byzantine.
Absolutely. Jamie wrote a couple of songs, or he wrote some riffs. Like I remember specifically, he wrote Pattern Recognition. I believe he wrote the riff of Pattern Recognition. But yeah, great group of guys. Even the guys that weren't in the band that we met through the Lamb of God message board all those years ago. A lot of memories with those guys. BC, or as everybody on the Lamb board called him, Abe.
Oh, right.
Remember him?
Of course. Yeah.
A lot of memories behind that album and that band, and hopefully they follow suit and release And They Shall Take Up Serpents on vinyl, because God, I'd love to have that album on vinyl too. One down, one to go, or no, two or three more to go. Like Oblivion Beckons would be awesome to have on vinyl, but anyway, the Fundamental Component, very happy to have that. Up next for me is the new release from Malignancy. This album is discontinued. Killer album from Malignancy. I finally got a chance to I haven't had a chance to spin the vinyl because I've been working so much the last few weeks for
Jesus Christ, that artwork
trips that we're going on. But yeah, but dude, this artwork is awesome. Absolutely phenomenal.
All of their artwork is nuts.
Correct. Yeah. Very, very awesome band. The last time my wife and I went to New York in 2009, I didn't plan on seeing them, but one night whenever I was sitting at the hotel, I looked up just stuff going on, and they were playing like down the street from my hotel room. So I made an impromptu trip across or like 2 or 3 blocks down to see Malignancy in Brooklyn.
Nice.
Which was really cool. I got to see them in their hometown. The new album discontinued on I believe this is called the Black Ice. splatter or black ice pressing, which is translucent. You can you can see through it. I know you probably can't, but actually holding it, I mean, I can. It's a transparent pressing. Very very cool. Cool copy to own on vinyl. I believe they did 2 or 3 pressings, but only got the one. Trying to conserve funds at the moment. And finally, for my new stuff I've got this week or recently, the Fantomas reissues, several different pressings of the self-titled Amenaza Al Mundo, suspended animation, several different pressings of each. For suspended animation, they did a pressing that was a 30-day calendar. What suspended animation is, to begin with, is every day in April of 2005, every song is like April 1st, April 2nd, April 3rd, April 4th, but it's the entire month of April, and every song is a different day for April in 2005. This pressing is an actual calendar. Like whenever you open it up and open the whole thing, it's like every day is April 1st, April 2nd, April 3rd, April 4th. Awesome pressing. Very happy to have this on vinyl. I have a couple different like promotional copies or whatever on CD. But again, Amenaza, the director's cut. I believe I have everything either ordered or it's here. I have everything except for a maroon pressing of the director's cut. It makes me angry that I cannot find a copy of this on vinyl, but I will. I'll probably spend way too much money for it. But being the completest I am, I have to have every pressing, and it's going to be a challenge. I can already tell to find a copy of the director's cut on maroon vinyl. Several more pressings. Got a black pressing of Amenaza, which is the one that I listened to. And I'll go ahead and break this out real quick. I bought 2 copies of the calendar pressing just to show what it looks like. This is the cover, but it's like every day. It's an actual calendar, which is really cool. Really cool copy to have on vinyl. Very stoked that they did this. And yeah, that's my new stuff for the week.
Interesting.
Fantomas. Have you ever gotten into this band?
No, I've seen them live with the Locust in Washington D.C. in 05 maybe. Mm-hmm. But I for some reason I was under the impression that was a box set.
What's that? What's this?
Yeah, when all these came out, I thought for some reason it was a box set you were getting, but I was misunderstood. So.
Oh, yeah.
All good. I'm glad you got all your Fantomas records, and you still got one you're looking for. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty happy about it. It pisses me off I can't find that one pressing, but I will. I'll get it eventually.
All right.
So
I went record store shopping a couple weeks back, and I don't own this that's not inside of a box set, and I don't like to just break shit out and play it that's in a box set. I mean, I'll do that every now and then, but it's Pantera's The Great Southern Trendkill. It's probably one of my second favorite Pantera albums. It's a lot of people hated this one. They didn't think it was like, I don't know, vulgar display of power. Thought this was a really raw, rugged underground album, and it just had a lot of like different shit that they'd never done before. Phil's vocals has definitely changed a lot on this album. The Great Southern Trendkill, Warner, Drag the Waters, just so many good ones. Floods, Underground America, Sandblasting Skin. This is a cool record. Certainly a nice record store find. Next thing that I just got this in the mail the other day. I ordered it a week ago. Kind of been lagging on buying this because I'm always seeing it's very expensive, but I saw it for a decent price, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to get it. Grief, Torso, one of the best doom metal, sludge, whatever you want to call it, angry, fucking hateful records that's out there. I love this record a lot. I have Come to Grief, and I used to have Dismal. I think I sold that a while back, but I think this is their best album in my opinion. I'm very happy to finally have this on vinyl. That's some crazy cool artwork. Yeah, good shit. Really good album. Stoked to finally own that. And then finally, much like you, I've been holding off for a while. I just wanted to be sure that I got all mine in. I may be getting another one in soon, but I'll just go with what I got. The Red Chord, one of my favorite bands of all time. They finally started pressing vinyl, Fused Together in Revolving Doors. Got pressed on vinyl multiple times. I think you shared one of yours the other day. This is the Decibel Inferno pressing. Let's see what this one is. Death Wish blue with red splatter pressing.
Very nice.
What else do I got here? I think this is another one of my Death Wish ones. Black and blue marble splatter, or whatever they called it. It's got a name.
Right.
The only one I didn't get was the sky blue pressing. And I think they had like a special one for a show that happened. I think this is the one that you got. The cloudy clear.
Yeah. That's the same pressing I have.
Yeah, this one's really nice looking too.
For sure.
I looked up the Decibel Inferno pressing, and that one's going for like a lot right now. So,
well, that was the most limited pressing, wasn't it?
I think they were all the same. I think they were all like 200 each. And then this is like the basic indie merch pressing, which you can tell they kind of sped up on these.
Yeah.
But I saw this one's kind of expensive too, because this one you couldn't order just single. You had to order like a bundle. There was like a bundle with a T-shirt. The one that I got came with this this piece of artwork here. They kind of just redid the hand, much like this hand was redone. I don't know who redid it, but yeah. I've talked a big deal about this band over the years. They're like some of my favorite people in the world. The bassist is one of the funniest dudes. The guitarist is one of the most riff-oriented guitarists I've ever heard in my life. They've had many drummers over the years. Shout out to Brad. Shout out to Mike Justin. And right now our mutual friend Charn is playing drums for this band. And yeah, I can't say, and Guy Coswick. Shout out to all those dudes. They're all great people. I love this band a lot. It's rare that I buy multiple pressings of albums anymore. You got to be a band that I care a lot about, and I care a lot about the Red Chord. I really do. They've been awesome people to me for so many years, and I'm just so happy that after so long they're finally pressing their stuff on vinyl.
Right.
I mean, hopefully they'll do something new someday. I mean, we will see. I did see that a show that you and I were talking about got announced today.
Got announced today. Finally, now we can tell the public it's no longer an inside thing. Nick and I, well, maybe I'm going. Hopefully you make the trip out for it. But
yeah,
Pig Destroyer and the Red Chord in Chicago.
October 17th.
October 17th. I've already taken vacation time for it. I am excited.
Yeah.
For that show. It's gonna be rad.
Yeah. Hopefully I can make it out. I really want to. That would be incredible. I've never been to Chicago before, and these are two bands that I know personally and I love a lot. So that would be without a doubt with you there too. It'd be a great time with one of my best friends. So
yeah, I think we go up there and spend a couple days in Chicago and then go see Pig Destroyer and the Red Chord. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, finally get to eat Chicago deep dish pizza.
Authentic.
Yeah,
from Chicago.
Exactly.
But speaking of Chicago and stuff like that, I have to say, I just noticed, like while you were talking about the Red Chord, that your shirt is not actually Full of Hell.
It's not. It is Chicago's own Weekend Nachos.
Weekend
yes.
Nachos.
When they announced,
I noticed that.
When they announced that they were breaking up, they, I think a bunch of bands made merch, and Full of Hell made this shirt with them on the front, and then I don't want to turn my shirt around and read what's on the back, but
It made me
I think-
giggle.
I think Harm's Way did something like that too
Oh yeah,
for weekend nachos. I think so. I could be wrong, but
right on, right on.
everybody loves weekend nachos.
Correct. Great band. But yeah, just whenever I noticed, I was like, wait a minute, that's Byron, and like that's not full of hell. Like,
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for sticking around for this long episode of Vinyl Bang. We appreciate everybody watching and listening.
yes, and I appreciate everybody's patience and tolerance with me because I was not ready. I dropped the ball several times. Nick was the one that really pulled everything together in this episode. So thank you, Nick, for being the support that I needed.
Anytime
for
pal.
you.
Anytime. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will catch up with you next week.
All right. See you guys.